Howdy guys and gals, I'm Kyle Broderick, the Social Regressive, and this video is kind of a preview for the patrons of the Destructive Arts out on Patreon. This is kind of a thank you to you guys for helping me to produce these videos, and eventually I'll release this on YouTube too, so if you're watching this kind of after the fact, after other folks have seen it, yeah, feel free to chime in and everything in the comments. I will still be watching this to see what we can do. I think I'll have a time release of about a week. I'll give it to the patrons of the Destructive Arts, and then kind of release it to the general public a little later. But I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that we are looking at here in the future. This is one of the rifles that I'm really excited about that we're going to be playing with here, doing some tests, and I want to get your feedback on what sort of tests we should do with this thing. As you can see here, this is a box that says CMMG on it, and let's see what we're going to be playing with. This is not the first time I've had the box open. I had to check it out at the my FFL just to make sure that everything was in there, but I haven't put the thing together yet, so you're going to be privy to that. I don't normally do these unboxing kind of videos. I think they're kind of goofy, but I think this one's going to be kind of special, mostly because you have to put the rifle together to begin with. All right, now here is a hint of what we're working with. This is the upper. This thing is gigantic. This is a monster. And no, we're not dealing with an AR-15 this time. We are dealing with an AR-10. This is a CMMG Mk3 DTR2 in 6.5 Creedmoor. I've been on a 6.5 Creedmoor kick here. I really see what the hype is all about. It is a fantastic cartridge. And especially since I have reloading dies and powders and bullets and all kinds of stuff, then heck yeah, I'm going to stick with a cartridge that I know works really well. So we are going to put together some stuff for this, and we're going to do some neat challenges. I'll talk more about the specs on this thing as I put it together. This has a 24-inch stainless barrel. It's not exactly a super, it's a pretty heavy profile. I mean, it's a thick barrel, but it does have some kind of a lightning shape to it. It kind of cuts in a little bit at under the handguard. It kind of reduces diameter just a little bit behind the gas block, and then in front of the gas block it kind of comes down a little bit too, but it's still massive. Now, if I remember correctly, this is a 416 stainless, and I'll put some stats at the bottom of what the twist rate is like. I think it's the usual 1 in 8, and what kind of rifling it has. And this is the lower right here. So this has kind of a neat gray finish going on, just like the upper right here. This is not the usual Parkerized black. And you can see that it's kind of plain Jane looking. It does have a little bit of funk to it, and a little bit of a different shape, and it has a very nicely flared magwell right there. But this is not, you know, one of the funky aerospace looking, you know, cuts everywhere, fins and gills sort of rifle that you see everybody's putting out nowadays. It's a little bit different. And I don't mind that at all, because I think this one is going to be about pure performance. We're going to see how this thing does. Oh, we have one pin that doesn't really want to move. I may have to run off camera here and go grab a pin punch to kind of knock this thing out. If I remember correctly, this has a Geisley trigger in it, and you can see on the back this has a Magpul. Oh, this is a PRS Gen3, just like on the Evolution that we've been testing out. I love this Gen3 buttstock. This thing is great. You can push up the butt pad if you want to get a little bit higher for prone shooting. You can drop it down a little bit based on whatever your dimensions are. Of course, you can extend this butt pad back here, and you can raise the cheek piece. And then also, if you loosen up these two screws right here, you can actually cant this butt pad so you can get it to better fit your shape. If you know anything about a good shotgun stock, a good rifle stock, you'll know that they're not exactly straight. They have all kinds of things that are kind of reworked on them to fit the individual shooter. And so I can actually cant this to fit the natural kind of angle that goes into my armpit right here. I'm gonna go grab a pin punch so we can put this thing together. All right, so now that we have the pin punched, one thing I didn't mention is that this is a Magpul MOE grip right here. This has a much more vertical sort of rake than you typically get with an AR style grip, so I'm gonna like that a lot. I really like a good, very vertical grip. And it does have a little base plate down here for keeping little tools or whatever, so that's kind of neat. So let's see if I can get this thing put together without a bench. Shouldn't be too big a problem. Tell you what though, this barrel is heavy. There we go. All right, so you can kind of see what I was mentioning before. This is not, you know, the guns and fins and sort of thing that you see a lot nowadays. This looks kind of plain Jane, and I think this is a good indication of where these guys' brains are at. This is going to be all about performance if I suspect correctly. Oh yeah. This thing is an absolute beast. Considering that I do have a 24-inch barrel, I'm actually kind of surprised at the weight of this thing. It could be a lot heavier, and it's not. And some of the things that I really liked when I kind of pulled this thing out of the box a little bit at the FFL was I really liked the way that this thing felt in hand. This forearm right here, this handguard, it sort of has an oblong kind of feel to it. It feels like a nice rifle stock in a lot of ways. It's very smooth. You know, of course, it doesn't have any of the rail sections here. It just has rail on the top. It looks like it's M-lock, so you can add extra stuff if you need to. Yeah, this is one that I think if you absolutely had to, you could stand and shoot with this thing. You could take some offhand shots. Again, it's heavy, so I wouldn't really recommend that, but it feels like it could do it in a pinch. So yeah, let's see what else is in the box. Okay, got a PMag, 20-round PMag. I'm really glad that they included that. I love PMags for ARs and for that Savage Model 10 GRS that we tested out a while back. Wonderful mags. Okay, so I was going to ask CMMG about lubrication, what they recommended on this thing, and it looks like they went ahead and included some Slip 2000. So I think I'll take that as a sign that that's the lube they want. And let's see what else we got. This feels like a manual. Yes. Ah, here we go. Product catalog. All right, so we're gonna have some fun, guys. I think we're mostly gonna be shooting hand loads through this. At this point, I've burned through most of my stash of factory ammo. I think I still have some Federal Gold Medal Burger left that we can test in this thing. So far, the Federal Gold Medal Burger hasn't worked particularly well in any of the rifles that I've tried. So, you know, that's just the Savage Model 10 GRS and the Savage Stealth Evolution. Both of them couldn't get below 1 MOA. Yeah, the best that I got so far was with the Evolution, where it hovered just above 1 MOA. So we'll try it in this thing and see how this likes it. But yeah, this is going to be a beast, and I'm going to have to figure out some new challenges. So you guys, help me out. I want you to try to think of some challenges that I can do with this that are going to emphasize the speed at which this thing can shoot, you know, since I don't have to manually cycle a bolt. And of course, this is going to be excellent for longer range stuff. With the Evolution, I was able to actually hit clay pigeons out at 650 yards. Make sure you, if you haven't watched that video, make sure you go back and watch it. I think with this, I expect, since it is an AR, kind of platform, they tend to be accurate, but, it's probably not going to be as accurate as that rifle, which, really is the second most accurate rifle I think I've ever shot. But yeah, help me come up with some challenges for this, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you, patrons of the Destructive Arts, for making the reviewing process possible. Thank you, CMMG, for sending the rifle to test. And thank you, Denver Loveless, 300 Win Mag, patron of the Destructive Arts. Since you're here in town, we got to get out and do some work with this thing. Maybe we can figure out a challenge that you and I can do together out at Red Castle. Okay, before we go, I have to show you something. I was just messing with the trigger off camera over here before putting this away. I was kind of playing with the buttstock too so I could get my proper length of pull. But yeah, the trigger is, it's really, really nice. So I'm kind of curious about the pull weight on this thing. This is going to be kind of tricky. I'm going to have to angle just a little bit. Let's find out what this thing pulls at. Woo! Just shy of 2 pounds. Oh my gosh, this trigger is awesome. It has just the tiniest bit of creep in it. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to do another pull. Yep, right at 2 pounds. Oh. This is going to help out a whole lot doing some precision shooting. Cool. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These 2 videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, the Social Regressive is on Patreon. So you can become a patron of the destructive arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.